What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How are you all doing? We are in Shadowlands Season 4, baby. We're going to do another build guide, or another dungeon guide today on Mechagon today, Workshop. So I did Junkyard. I think we've done Karazhan now. And I want to talk about Workshop. If you guys never did this during BFA, if you weren't playing the game then this is a good chance to just get a reminder, a little refresher on how some of the little mechanics in this dungeon work. Sometimes it's hard to understand, even just having done the dungeon a couple of times on like a lower difficulty. You might not be aware of some of the mechanics that are really going to be important once you start doing it on higher keys. So this is a plus 15 that we did, and I'm going to walk you through all the tips and tricks for Mechagon Workshop. Don't forget to grab your buff.
There. Are you going to try and grab them all up and take them to the thing?
Don't forget to grab your buff.
Yeah. Okay. I experimented with it.
So one thing I just actually was thinking about, this room at the beginning has these hammer pistons that are along the outer edge. You can see one right here, and there's one right over here. There's 4 of them. It used to be back in the day that you could actually gather all these mobs up and take them to the piston, and the piston would essentially kill them all. However, the pistons, as I understand it, scale their damage off of how many allies, like us, are standing underneath of it when it's about to come down and hit the ground. So you activate these hammers by standing underneath of them, or like kind of near them, and then they'll kind of wind up and they'll smack the ground, and you have time to run away so that you don't get hit. What I was just saying to Lynx is we should gather all these enemies up and put them under these pistons, and then it'll kill all the enemies like right away. And that is true, except that it won't do as much damage if the tank is the only person who takes them all there. Our whole group has to go together and bait the piston to come down and then run away at the last second, and then it will come down and it will do more damage because more of us were under there. So we kind of messed up this initial section here. It's actually much easier to just do this piston strategy I'm talking about. We ended up not doing that because we didn't think it actually worked. But what we didn't realize, I think, is that the damage of the pistons will scale off of how many of you are standing underneath of it when it goes off. It didn't matter because the hunter just literally annihilated. It was crazy. However, what I've just spoke about the pistons is true about this boss fight as well.
Literally did like one aim shot and it killed the pack.
This is the first boss fight, and it's got 2 enemies, No Mercy, and then the other one. The standing robot, has to get taken by the tank, and he has 3 armor plating. Like, he has to get hit 3 times by a piston to drop all 3 stacks of his armor plating, and then you can kill him. So the tank just has to go and like bait the hammer and do that stuff. The rest of us here, we should be standing over here baiting this piston. We don't want to be standing on the piston yet, but we want to be standing over here so that the direction that this little tank guy is going to go is right here, right off the bat. So the problem is, again, we don't have all 4 of the rest of us. So here we go. He does maximum thrust, which is great, and then the hammer is going to come down here. But it's only me who's like standing close enough. Everybody else, the other 3 people need to be standing with me right here in order for this to do maximum damage to No Mercy. Watch No Mercy's health. It moves a little bit, but like barely. So I don't know. I can see that it's definitely doing damage to No Mercy. It is doing damage to him. But it's not doing barely any damage at all. And I think what we need to do is we should have had all 4, like the 3 DPS and the healer should have stood there to bait it. I'll need to do more testing on this because I'm not sure if it's been hotfixed since like BFA. I actually don't know. What I do know is that I think we were doing this improperly, and there's probably a way to do it much more quickly. One thing I do know is that as soon as the tank brings his robot underneath these hammers and the hammer hits the tank, like he's going to do right here, it breaks that hammer. You can no longer use that hammer once he does it. So, anyway, I don't know if they've hotfixed it. Somebody let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if they've hotfixed it to not work for No Mercy, or if we just did it wrong. I suspect we just did it wrong, and we needed to have the other 4 people, except for the tank, standing to bait the hammer attack. So otherwise, guys, this fight's quite simple. No Mercy does a Vent Jets ability, which is very, very dangerous. You need to make sure that you stand behind him while he's doing it, or just stand away from him. The Vent Jets does less damage to you if you stand behind the boss when he does it. Let me just back up and show you Vent Jets right here. So I'm standing right here. He starts to do it. Anybody who's standing like over here or in front of him, he's going to fixate one person. That person has to just run away. Everybody else should be standing behind the boss. Look at how much damage I'm not taking compared to everybody else.
Is that the one we used?
Wow. I'm taking a lot of damage now, but the hunter's getting wrecked. So anyway, you take less damage if you stand behind the boss. So try to do that. Everybody else just kind of stood wherever they wanted to stand there. But that's basically the fight. Once No Mercy is dead, then you just beat up the boss, and he just keeps kicking the tank in the teeth, and that's it. Nothing else too crazy. But I do think there's a strategy you can employ here with the hammers to give yourself more damage on No Mercy, on the tank guy. That's definitely got to be the way to go. Then you're going to run down the junk heap here. This little section here towards the second boss has these tankers here, this waste processing unit. So they do like a frontal cone called processing wave. It's that right there, the little tornado thing. And then the more dangerous ability that they do is an AoE. It's really hard to see. It's called Mega Drill. You can see the outline of it right here, the brown outline of it, but it's kind of hard to see when you're stuck in this puddle. So I didn't get out in time because I'm an idiot. I ran back into the second one. But it's hard to see. Just understand that it is definitely going to be there, and it's a melee. You need to watch out for that. This next little section here has a bunch of slimes in it, and our tank just pulls all these slimes. These slimes, when they detonate, they will do a ton of damage, guys. So you have to. They die very, very quickly, and when they die, they will detonate. So they're detonating. It's called volatile waste. Boom, boom, boom. It's going off right now, but Lynx has like a Giga Shield built up. Look, he just did 25k HPS, by the way. So it's generally a decent strategy to let your tank just go kill all those guys and have them detonate, and you're standing behind this pillar, so you LOS. On a higher key, you might need to go help your tank out, do a little bit of damage, and then run behind the pillar and LOS. After you're done killing these slimes, it's time for the Shrouded Mini-boss. He's hiding here right before the second boss fight. Okay, again, he does Blood Siphon. Make sure that you're getting rid of that bat, that hypnotic bat. And that's about it for him. Then we have Cujo. This is the dog, the bionic dog. This guy's awesome. So basically, he's going to drop boxes from the sky. They come down periodically. Here comes one right now. There it is. When Cujo does his big venting ability, you have to be standing behind the box. So venting flames, here it comes. If you go out there, you'll die in like 3 shots. There is a way for you to do this where if you position Cujo correctly, ranged allies especially can still shoot Cujo even though they're not getting hit by the blast. They're kind of standing behind the box in a way that like gives them the perfect angle to still attack the boss. So you have to work on this in your groups. We actually did this dungeon again later, and Lynx like perfectly positioned the Cujo so that I could shoot him with my LE blast. I was playing LE Shaman. So here's the next important ability. It's called Explosive Leap. I have a little red skull. This guy's got a red skull. Explosive Leap is going to be Cujo jumping around. If you're standing near near a box, the new box that's come down, if you're standing near that when you get jumped on, you will destroy the box and it'll be a wipe. Literally, it'll be a wipe. You'll lose the entire fight. So pay attention to where you're standing. So you can see that Lynx is trying to position the boss in a way that isn't going to hurt us with vent jets. And I maybe even could have snuck up to the left here and done some damage, but I just wasn't trying it. This is a plus 15. I was just kind of being a good boy and making sure that we did it properly. But that's the whole fight. He's going to jump around to different people. Don't be near a box when he does his explosive leap. Here's explosive leap number 2. See where I'm standing? I'm kind of close to the box, so I run to the right a little bit to make sure that he He doesn't hit it. There we go. And then you want to position him up against the box. That's the fight. That's the fight. It really saves a lot of time if you're able to hit him while he's doing his big venting. Then it's just, it'll save a lot of time. Then you're going to run through this little gauntlet here into the next area. It's a big conveyor belt. I fell off because I'm an idiot. I have to run back. Okay. And there's like a 3-part section here with guards. It's not really important. Kicking Giga Wallop is important as best you can. Kick Giga Wallop, okay? But you're going to kill all these little guys, and then a second set are going to come out. 3 more are going to come out right here. You want to kill them. They get progressively harder. And then you're going to fight like a mini-boss once you kill those 3. So this next one comes out. Here comes the mini-boss right here. Blastatron X80. He does an ability that makes the entire floor turn blue except for one section. And when he does that, you need to get to the section that is not blue. So you can see right here, capacitor discharge. See how all this is blue? Blue, blue, blue. You need to get to the non-blue section. Okay, he'll do it 3 times. There's 1, and he does it, and then he moves it to a different spot. Here's 2, and then he moves it to another spot. Here's number 3. Okay, if you're standing in the blue section, you'll get like disoriented or stunned and take damage. Okay, that's that mini boss. Now we have a little gauntlet we have to run. So you're going to run over here. Let me show you. I'm just going to show you the whole thing in case you've never seen it. These guys have Detecto-bots. They have these things around them. You have to try and skirt around them whichever way you can. So you can get around. Once he starts patrolling this way, you can get around him. Then you get into these foggy vent areas. If you're standing in this smoke and the Detecto-bot tracks over top of your character, you will not get discovered. So don't worry about it. Those vents provide, so you can, I'm in temporary cover here. One thing that Lynx has showed me the last couple dungeons is that you can just sneak over here to the right when they're kind of blocking this area here. So we're going to do that. Okay, sneak over here. There's a vent to keep me safe. This last run is the most important section. You're trying to make it to this vent right here. This vent will keep you safe, but it's very dangerous. Here comes an opening. We see an opening. We're going to go. Get into the vent. Oh, now we have a final opening. This Detecto-bot is going this way. And so we have one last opening. We can actually skip this vent entirely and just run right past. But if this Detecto-bot was coming back to the left, we'd have to stand in this vent and chill there for a little bit. But we sneak our way through. It's really, really tight. If you've never done this before, don't worry. You're going to... Oh, sorry about that, guys. That was really loud. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But that's kind of how that rat works. That's like best case scenario what you want to be doing with that little rat right there. Then you're going to clean up this trash pack here. Make sure to kick Giga Wallop. I forgot why I died there. I think there was a big AoE slam that I didn't get hit by. Here's the next boss. This is the Machinist Garden. This is this garden boss. So multiple things happen here. He's going to summon little cogs that are going to spin the entire dungeon. They keep bouncing. You have to watch out where they're going. He's going to summon a blast plant over here. The blast plant does a lot of damage to an ally. It just starts shooting somebody. Just boom, boom, boom. You can stun the blast plant, as you saw with the... Here's the priest did a good stun there. Very, very smart by the shadow priest. So you can do a stun. You can do lots of stuff to stop that guy from doing damage. Then he does hidden flame cannon, which the center console will start spinning with the flaming jets, and the cogs are going around at the same time. So this starts to get very complicated and very dangerous, especially on a tyrannical fight. And I even got hit by another mechanic, which I wasn't paying attention to. There will be the spinning fire. There will be the cogs bouncing around. There's going to be the plants shooting you. And there's also these swirlies on the ground. You can see there's a very faint white swirly right here. And I'm standing in it, and I get hit like an idiot. So you got to watch out for that. I'll show you another one in a second. Oh, I don't know why it skipped there. Anyway, so again, that's the whole fight basically. There's cogs going around all the time. There's heat jets going all the time. Not all the time, you know, every 20 seconds or so. There's another swirly. I get out of it this time. There's a plant shooting you half the time as well. On Tyrannical, this fight's very frustrating. It gets very difficult. That Blossom does a lot of damage on Tyrannical. It's kind of a whole different fight on Tyrannical. So anyway, you need to have lots of mobility in this fight. Use all your tools that keep you mobile. If you're a caster, I'm just very sorry for you on this fight. But that's it, basically. You want to jump around. There's the cogs, the spinning jets. Don't get hit by the white swirlies like me. Don't be an idiot, okay? Here's the last approach towards the last, the trash packs towards the last boss. 2 big spider tanks. Number 1, they're going to do a frontal called Sonic Pulse. There it is right there. Don't be standing in that. Does a lot of damage. It'll silence you for a long time. Sonic Pulse number 2. It's like an 8-second silence. Our priest got hit here, okay? You can see, look at his raid frame. He's got a silence thing on him. That's what that blue thing is. That's there for like 8 seconds. So the Shadow Priest like can't do anything right now. He's still silenced. He's still silenced. Now it's just wearing off now. So don't get hit by Sonic Pulse. That's the bottom line. And they do a bunch of fiery things as well. One little tip that I was learned from Fat Man was talking about this. If you kill the second spider tank first, so by second spider tank I mean the one that's further up, this back one here, if you kill him first, then your transportation that's coming, there's a transportation ship that's coming to get us, it will come down more quickly. See how it's coming right now? If you kill that second tank first, this transportation guy will come down like right away. And then you can like finish off the first mecha tank and then immediately jump into this flying guy. It saves you a little bit of time. There's a time save there for sure.
However, the argument could be made that they should be making every class viable baseline, right? So, which I think they're kind of doing.
Here is the last hallway before the last boss. Important things to know. Giga Wallop needs to be kicked. The shield generators, you need to ideally take the mobs outside of the shield generator, and then all your ranged people can stand in the shield generator. It dramatically reduces the amount of damage you take. So you want to get the mobs out of the shield generator, and you want your range to stand in the shield generator, because these mobs start doing an ability called Short Out. These defense bots do an ability called Short Out. It does a lot of damage to everybody. It's not doing any damage to me right now because I had Fleshcraft on, but on high keys, Short Out does a lot of damage. So it's just rinse and repeat. The shields are going to go down. You got to kick Giga Wallop and bring the mobs outside of the shields. You can drop those shields by yourself if you want to kill them, but ideally you should keep them up because they'll keep everybody safe. So you just keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. More Giga Wallop. Keep pushing yourself up the platform here. Here's the final big pack. This is a pretty dangerous pack, especially on Fortified and Sanguine, because you run out of room in a hurry here. So just do as much damage as you can. Try to kick Tune-Up as well. That Machinist will do Tune-Up. That's a really important kick. You want to be kicking Giga Wallop and Tune-Up. Tune-Up? Tune-Up? It sounds like I'm saying tuna. Kick Giga Wallop and tuna. Use your stuns, use your AoE interrupts, all that stuff, okay? Get to the last boss. Now, last boss fight. This is a 2-phase fight. Phase 1, he starts in this little machine here. These balls on the outside, these electric balls, they will jump around the encounter, and they'll tell you where they're going. You just have to watch where they're going. There's arrows pointing to where they're going to go, and there's swirlies, which indicate where they're going to end up. That's their destination. And then the arrow points to where they're going to go. So I know standing where I am right now that I'm fine. I'm not going to get hit by anything. It takes practice, having done it a few times, but you'll get the gist of it.
Such good ability.
He also does an ability called Giga Zap, which is just a big zap. What you want to do with Giga Zap is make sure that you're not standing in line with any other players. There's Giga Zap right there. That's on this guy. He's kind of standing in line with our priest, so he needs to move, which he does. That's the paladin, I believe. That's perfect. So yeah, the zap went out and didn't hit anybody else. It will punch right through you and hit anybody else on your team. So then he activates his thrusters, where he just drives around, does a lot of AoE damage. You don't want to be near him. The further away you are from his cutting beam, the less damage you take. Now, I was just trying to do maximum damage here to get him to phase 2. So there's Giga Zap again. Once you get him low enough, he jumps out of his little pod here, and he goes into phase 2. Okay? There's King Mechagon. He's really tiny. He's going to stun you for 5 seconds. He jumps into his other form. He jumps into his final form, baby. This is when you want to lust and beat him up. Now, he does a few different abilities here. The lightning balls are still moving around. Got to be careful. First big ability is right here. He's going to Giga Zap somebody, but it looks different now. Now it's a massive line on the floor. And again, you don't want anybody to get hit by your Giga Zap. So what we tend to do is the person who gets targeted with Giga Zap will basically stand still, and everybody else is going to get out of the way. That's the best way to do it. So the guy stands still right here. I'm getting out of the way. Third one is on that person. They're going to stand still. I'm going to get out of the way. That's the best way to do it. If you try to designate where you're going to put your Giga Zap, so we're going to go over here, don't do that. Just have the Giga Zap person, more or less, they're going to stand still, and then everybody else is going to move away from them. Okay? Last ability is called Magneto Arm or Magneto Arm. He's going to target a player. You target one of your players, and he's going to drop a magnetic arm on them. This pulls everybody towards the arm. Okay? You can counter it with stuff like Fleshcraft if you have Plague Divisor Marileth, by the way, which is really cool. Otherwise, you're going to get dragged into this arm. I'm resisting it right now. But there you go.
Very close, yeah.
It didn't do anything to me because I used Fleshcraft, but it will drag you progressively quicker towards where the magnetic is standing from, so you have to get away from that area. And it does a lot of damage. It's a pretty big healer check there. Okay, you're going to knock him out of his final form, and then King Mechagon comes down, and you're going to beat him up and take his lunch money.
No, I know, but it just would have been cool to have no dads.
All right, that's it. That is the dungeon. I get a pretty good ring here, actually. I got a socket, and it gives you 104 haste. So.
Wow, I got a really good ring, actually.
Not bad at all. So that's the dungeon. That is Mechagon Workshop. Let me just run it down really quick for you once again.
It just would have been cool to have.
So at the beginning, of course, you've got the Tussle Tonk boss fight. And you want to, once again, use the pistons to bonk No Mercy, and the tank has to use the pistons to bonk the tank robot guy. Now, what I'm not entirely sure about, again, is if you stack all your allies like together, I think that when the bonk comes down, it'll do way more damage, and you can basically kill the No Mercy tank guy with that bonk. I'm 90% sure that it works that way, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below if that's worked for you or not, because we did it incorrectly in this dungeon run. The Cujo boss fight, little dog, make sure that you don't get leapt on when you're standing near a box. Just don't stand near those boxes until it's time to do vent jets, basically. Otherwise, you're going to detonate the box early, and it's just a wipe. The Machinist Garden, there's a lot going on in that fight. There's plants shooting you. There's little cogwheels spinning around. There's little swirlies on the floor that'll zap you with lightning. And then there's fire spinning around the room. So just you have to be very mobile. Use all the tools in your arsenal to be very mobile and get as much damage out as you can. And then King Mechagon himself, of course, he has 2 phases. The first phase, you know, you're basically just kind of not hitting people with Giga Zap and not getting hit by the lightning balls. And then the second phase is very similar. Don't let anybody get hit by Giga Zap. If you get Giga Zap on you, you want to more or less stand still and everybody else can move away from you. That's the easiest way to do that, guys, I promise. And then the big Magneto arm will come down, just kind of resist its pull, and you're good to go. That's the whole dungeon. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Listen, we are going to do a 24-hour stream. We got to 2K subscribers on YouTube. Very, very happy about this. And we're going to do a 24-hour stream to celebrate on my Twitch channel. So you can see right here, we got 2.03K subs. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to... I can't bring up the calendar over here. That's fine. Let me switch my monitor really quick here, just so I can show you guys. Let's switch over to here. Okay, good. Then we'll move this over here. Okay, so listen. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do it on August 29th. Okay? Oh, you guys can't see that because of my camera. What a disaster. August 29th. There we go. We're looking at it now. Right here. August 29th is what you need to do. Okay? That is where we're going to do the 24-hour stream. I'm going to do it Monday, August 29th. And I'm going to start basically at 12 noon on Monday. I'm going to go into Tuesday at 12 noon. Okay, does that make sense? So, mark your calendar. August 29th, 24-hour stream on Twitch, Twitch.tv/ZukoVibes. We got the my Twitch is right here as well. You can just go to my Twitch channel from my YouTube. But mark your calendars, guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing WoW stuff. I'm going to be playing a couple different games. The new Path of Exile League is coming. I'm going to be playing some of that for sure. I've got some games lined up with some friends. We're going to be doing some Fall Guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. So mark your calendar for August 29th into the 30th. Come hang out on the stream, and we're going to have some sub goals as well. I'm going to put up a little competition, I think, for maybe making a new emote for the stream, depending on how many subs we can get. We're going to see what we can do there. But tell your friends, tell your grandma, August 29th, mark your calendars. I'm going to do another announcement of this on my Discord as well, which is also linked right here. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.